Hello, my name is Tashna, and today I'm going to talk about why I don't do Twitch Creative anymore. Sorry. So, the main reason, if not the reason, I don't do Twitch Creative anymore is I have a joint problem. It's joint hypermobility syndrome, or some know it as joint hypermobility Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a mouthful and a different things, but we don't have an official write down because my doctor scares me. You can have all sorts of different symptoms with that, and what it means for me is that my joints aren't supported as they should be by my ligaments. They hurt a lot, they can lock in, they're not very nice, sometimes they fall out of where they're supposed to go, and generally it's just a bad time. It's not very comfortable. For Twitch Creative, what that meant was my joints would lock into place because I'm holding the beads, or I'm holding my head at an angle for a long period of time, and after one stream my neck and shoulder locked up and I couldn't move my head for 2 days, and it was a lot of pain for like 3 days. So that's not very fun, as you can imagine, and it started to almost make me dislike doing creative. Other reasons I don't do Twitch Creative anymore: the cost, frankly, the monetary cost. It's expensive to buy materials and keep buying materials and make sure you're in stock of everything. So I costed it up once, and in 6 months, just on beads, I spent over £1,000, which is approximately $1,300, depending on conversion rate, in 6 months. And that's beads. That's not boards, that's not paper, that's not Etsy listings, that's not shipping, which we'll get to in a minute. And as you can imagine, that stings. That hurts. It's not feasible long term. Now you're going to say, but Natasha, why don't you sell these things? Well, we're going to get into that with the time cost, which is another major reason I don't do creative anymore. There's the initial time setup, so there's the planning what I want to do. Maybe there's a game release coming out, maybe I just don't have anything going on, but I'm just going to start making something. There's the patterning, which can take a long time, especially if it's a custom pattern. Actual making, obviously. Then afterwards, if I want to sell them, there's the pricing, which, photographing, editing the photographs, listing them on Etsy, if they sell, which is not guaranteed, packaging and shipping. Also, had to get a PO box because then I have a return address, so that's another cost, which isn't great. And some people are going to say, well, you can sell them at shows. You went to Comic-Con. I did go to Comic-Con. It was great, but it was fine for costs. I did pretty well. It was a lot. It was a long weekend, which then goes back into pain. Don't know why I'm doing this today, but they're all connected. So it's deciding whether or not taking that time away from stream is going to be good, because quite often they're 3 days. There's the pain aspect of being on your feet, not having a break, running around for 3 days. And you don't know if you're going to actually sell all this stuff anyway. Another thing is the ceiling for niche categories on Twitch. It's not really talked about very much, but let's do it anyway. So creative, which it used to be, and now it's makers and crafting and art, it has almost a viewership ceiling. So people that will watch those categories will continue watching those categories. They'll be there and they'll find new streamers in that category and everything. But people from outside that category generally won't come in and search and find the people and look for a niche thing like perler beads, because that's just not what they want to watch, and that's fine. But as a business, I do have to think about that and think about how it's going to affect me long term to limit myself so much. Any one of these things is big enough to not do it anymore, but I think when you add them all up, so we've got the physical pain, the monetary cost, the time that I spend extra, not on streaming, off stream, and the ceiling, it just doesn't make sense for it to be my main content. I also used to do a lot of crafting when I felt sad, and when I was having a bad day or a bad week, I would do some crafts and I would have a cool thing that I have made. So even if I'm bad at everything else, I've done this thing. And that's great. But I think with having it as my main content on Twitch, that kind of became, if I'm not streaming it, then it doesn't have worth. If I'm not making content, then I'm making people miss out on the fun of seeing it and chatting to everyone. So it wasn't mine anymore. I couldn't enjoy it the same way because I had monetized it in a way. And that makes me a bit sad. I think soon I am going to be getting back to the point that I want to do creative, but it will not be my main content and it will not be my focus. It will be much more mellow and it will be as I want to do it because it's my choice. I understand that people don't watch anymore because I primarily do gaming, and I completely understand you want to watch creative, and that's great. But I hope you understand my reasoning why I don't as well. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great evening, and make sure to do all that YouTube spiel. Subscribe. I don't know where the button is because I'm a Twitch streamer, so watch at twitch.tv/Tashna.